Okay, hello and welcome back to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Follow us on Twitter. We have got a quick one in store for you today for the week ahead. Before we get into that though, if you've been following the channel, you may have seen these last two videos, 20k gold and a case for a much higher Bitcoin. After I posted these, I just stumbled into this and thought I'd share it with you just to show you I'm not the only one that is projecting these sorts of seemingly crazy prices. VanEck, a investment firm, has made a prediction for up to $4.8 million Bitcoin. That's $4.8 million per coin if it becomes a global reserve asset. And I thought this was interesting as well. They've got a gold price per ounce of $31,000, which is even higher than my prediction. So it was nice to see. They've also got an unreliable, what they call an unreliable figure of 105k per ounce. I think, in my opinion, that's a little steep. But then that sort of made me think there was, I'm sure I've seen Jim Rickards predicting $100,000 up to, and certain. I know he's famous for his $50,000 per ounce call that was made in the 2020s, I think. So I just thought I'd share that. Anyway, let's get into some charts for the week ahead. Oil looks like it's thinking about breaking down. Possible short here. If we can break down convincingly, it's likely going to run into some amount of support in this neighborhood. And possibly in this neighborhood as well. So if we do take the short, we'll be watching out in this range. I could see it sort of almost consolidating rather than just a full-scale breakdown. But I would say risk here is to the downside for oil, not up for the time being. So have a look at the S&P. S&P, we're getting this dip that I sort of expected. Is it done? I don't know. We'll see how the following couple of days go for the S&P and for US equities in general. I think we could probably go a bit deeper than this, to be honest. But for me, this, whenever we get sort of sign of a bottom, that for me is a long. And then the question is, do we make new highs or do we make lower highs? So, but for now, we'll just play patient, see if we can get a nice entry down here somewhere, and look to go long. It's the same story for the Nasdaq and of course the Dow. So that is what it is. Let's take a look at gold. Okay, so this is why we don't rush in. You can see that would have been a mistake to rush in on this breakout. It was still not convincingly broke out, let alone retested. So I'm not too eager to jump into this at the moment. We'll be waiting for, like I've said before, a breakout and a retest, and then we can go. However, the miners are sort of telling a different story, which is exactly what you'd want to see for a gold bull market. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. This is the senior miners. The senior miners are looking to possibly have a crack at breaking out here, and if we can get above this, region for the miners, then I would expect that opens up certainly the all-time high, if not beyond the all-time high. So this is an encouraging look from the miners. The junior miners are telling the exact same story. Again, we're sort of just working on this. So again, perhaps these can lead. That would be nice. Certainly, if these start to lead, you would expect gold to break out as well. But that's certainly encouraging for in the short term. So we'll see. Of course, if it doesn't break out, then we're looking at lower prices for both of these. And then silver. We'll look at silver really quickly. Silver doesn't actually look too great right now. It looks kind of weak, to be honest. Again, similar play to gold. We can see if we get this breakout. However, as with gold, the miners are kind of telling a different story. We've got relative strength here, hidden in the miners. And again, this sort of exactly the same situation again. So do these lead, and therefore does silver follow, or are we looking for lower prices all over? Long term, of course, the bias is up, but short term, could we see more of a consolidation perhaps? Then yeah, perhaps we could. Certainly something to keep an eye on. Okay, we'll have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, zoom in a bit here so we can see what's going on. Bitcoin, we've had this trend line as I expected. I expect we'll continue to hold it for a little while at least. I think I did mention no real problem with it retesting this sort of level here, which it's done. So I'm not too concerned. I do fully expect this to move higher. For me, this has always been the danger zone, as I've said multiple times on this channel. We'll have a look at Ethereum. I don't think I've looked at Ethereum yet on the channel. It's pretty much the same as Bitcoin, as I'm sure you realise. Of course, not fundamentally. I'm talking about the chart, to be clear. But the chart is a very similar shape. So I expect we get this sort of... I expect, as I said with Bitcoin, I expect we get the same sort of move. Mark a fib here. Sort of makes sense that this would become a danger area for Ethereum, so we'll be. I can mark that on here for the sake of it. This is the danger zone. I'm not a big fan of fibs, but whatever. So yeah, again, I expect this to continue higher. I don't really see why it won't. But once we get into this neighborhood, it could be time for a little pullback, maybe time to take some leverage off in the short term and look for a dip to buy back in. Something else I'm looking at, Hbar. I've got this massive breakout that it's trying to work on. I like this. The symmetry is not great on the trend line, but if it can break out of here convincingly, then it's certainly going to open up these high levels up here. So I'm looking forward to see what Hbar can do. Matic is a similar story. We've already broken out with Matic. So the question for me is, can Matic push up here? Usually when Bitcoin and Ethereum start to recover from the dips, Matic does really well. So I would sort of expect Matic to do okay as well here. And finally, XRP is working on this absolutely enormous wedge. So if it can break out of here, it possibly is going to take it a little bit of time before it does, but if it can break out of here, then who knows how high this is going to go. I would think this is the minimum and possibly a lot higher, but that remains to be seen for now. For now, we're not acting until this can break out convincingly. So that's going to be all from us. That's the week ahead, the report for the week ahead. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Cheers. Take care. Bye.